Hello, it's Drew and Terry Edwards here from MakeMorePlacement.com, and we are live. Just want to do a quick live broadcast. We've been having obviously with what's going on in the world and the economy, we've had a lot of questions about what we think is going to happen and what to do. So I want to sort of talk about one of the things that you need to change right now if it's a problem for you in your business. Because of this sort of live broadcast is why recruitment search businesses built on foundations will break and how to stop it happening to you, right? So, you know, whatever the cause is, I think, you know, whatever you think about the cause or whether it's a real threat or not is irrelevant. The fact of the matter is the economy has changed, right? That along it has, like, there's different attitudes towards recruitment, but also a lot of things as well, right? Things have changed, and what we find is that when sort of the market contracts, you know, you're in an industry that is directly affected. A lot of the time, the problems that come out of it are not caused by a recession or not caused by a downward market. The down market simply highlights the problems that were there all along. So we're going to talk about one of those problems today and how to fix it. Terry, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I'd agree 100% with what you say there. I'd also add to it as well that whatever the economic climate, something that I was told, and I'm sure you've heard it before, is that there's no point worrying about things that you've got absolutely no control over. What we know is the actual economic climate itself is completely out of your control or my control. All you can control is how you react to what's going on. All you can control is how you behave, your thinking about what's going on right now. Now that you have got control over, and I would encourage you to focus on that rather than the situation itself, because there isn't a thing that you can do about it, not a thing. But you can do something about your behavior and your attitude.
Yeah, awesome. So, I mean, look, there's lots to talk about. We're just going to focus on one of the sort of key things that you need to change right now, right? So, you know, we speak to recruitment search managers every day. You know, literally 5 days a week, we're speaking to them on the phone, and you know, they open up about what's really gone on in their business. And you know, every day we speak to recruitment search managers who are doing well on the surface, right? And in revenue terms, they're doing well as well. But what you find when you dig a bit deeper, that their success is really built on brittle foundations. And when there's a bit of pressure on those foundations, things start to break. And I wanted to talk about that and make sure it's not happening in your business at the moment. So anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, it's just that as Drew rightly said, you know, we do speak to recruitment search firm owners from around the world on a daily basis, and some recruitment and search firm owners can sometimes give the impression that they're perhaps doing better than they really are. And if you look closely at what's going on in their business, they've literally built their business on quicksand and said we're going to look at one particular example of that, where all it would take is almost one person to change something, and that business would stop existing literally overnight. And we see this time and time again. And it's affecting people right now. We think it's going to get a lot worse for some of the things that are happening right now. So this is really about just what's going on and exactly what to do to avoid it, so you're not building your business on quicksand.
Yeah, and the problem we want to talk about today is that if you're a recruitment or search owner and you're reliant on either one or very few main clients who provide the vast majority of your business, your business is built on brittle foundations. So what we mean by that is, again, we see it all the time. It happens in any market. You'll find a recruiter who's doing really well, and you know, but what they've got is they've sort of built this almost false sense of security because they've got one or a few main clients who are giving them all their business, and they sort of get comfortable with it, and they think to themselves, well, I don't really need to market, I don't need to promote my business. I've got these clients who already working with, they already like me, they already trust me, and they give me all this business, so I've got nothing to worry about. And at one level you don't. It's always good to have clients who trust you, who are happy to give you business. But again, this can happen at any time. But if that client pulls the plug, or if that client has a recruitment freeze, or if that client changes their mind, that revenue can disappear literally, in many cases almost overnight. I mean, you hear horror stories of people who have built their businesses off the back of one or two clients. So this is either in a contract desk or a perm desk, really. Again, all this business with these one or two clients, and then those clients have whatever reason. So it could be because of a recession, it could just be that something internally changes. Maybe your key contact leaves. All of a sudden, your cash flow is swept from beneath your feet, and you're left with nothing. No sort of network you can tap into. Literally, your whole source of business, your whole source of revenue has gone. And this is a problem that would always be a problem in businesses. I think now, though, there's a chance that it's become a bigger problem. Terry, anything you'd add to that?
Yeah, one of the things that prompts us to have this conversation today is that I was talking to an IT recruiter about 4 days ago, and he has a husband and wife team, and they had 104 contractors out. But these 104 contractors are out with 2 clients, but 80% of one client had most of the contractors. And what's happened is, as this organization has grown and they've brought in more and more contractors, the finance department are now looking at their spend on the contract side, and finance are now taking responsibility for dealing with the recruiter. Now, what the finance department have now said is, we can probably get this cheaper, so we're putting it out to tender, which they did do. The consequence of which this particular recruiter is going to lose something like 90% of his business. Now, I want to be clear about this. They've done nothing wrong. The organization actually said, you've done a fantastic job and we have no complaints about you whatsoever. What's happened is that many men have come into the organization and thought, we can do something about this. We can reduce our costs. And they've done just that. So through no fault of this recruiter, they're going to lose 80, 90% of their business. But I want you to think about that for a minute, because their whole business foundation was based on this one client. Their offices, their lifestyle, everything is based on this one client. That as from, I think he's got, he hasn't got long now, but he's going to lose most of that business. All because he's reliant on that one organization. But husband and wife team, they did absolutely nothing wrong. And the organization said, look, we'll give you a glowing testimonial and growing references because you did a fantastic job. That can happen to anyone, and often does. Is Drew myself have witnessed almost on I think it'd be fair to say, Drew, on a weekly basis, we're hearing stories like that.
Yeah, and it's not dependent on how the economy is going. Obviously, a recruitment freeze or can happen at any time. But what we'll probably find is more likely to happen now. Again, that's sort of the bad news. That's the doom and gloom. Sort of the good news is, one, if you're in that situation now, so you're reliant on one client, I mean, you've heard this message, so you can do something about it. But secondly, if it's already happened to you, so you already were reliant on one client or a few clients and they pulled the plug, again, you still have time to pivot and do something about it. So, and the solution is really simple. Again, it's something that we've been talking about for years, something we've talking about for years. All it really comes down to is getting better at the process of bringing new clients into your business, right? In any economy, good or bad, as long as you have that core skill, your ability to bring in new business, if you have that core skill, you'll always be okay, you'll always thrive, because no matter what happens, even if recruitment slows down, it will never stop, right? It will never stop. The businesses that will suffer, the businesses that will find times harder, are the ones that haven't got that key skill. They don't know how to bring in new clients. They don't have, or maybe they do know how, but they don't have a scalable process. Perhaps they were already doing all they knew how to do to bring clients. Suddenly, they need to increase volume of that, and it's not scalable. They've got no scalable process to bring clients. But again, these are things that are easily fixed if you know how, right? So if you're either, if you're a recruitment selection owner and you're reliant on one or few clients now, and you either they've pulled the plug already and you want to replace them, or you're aware that if they do, your whole business will sort of go down the drain with it. All you need is a proven process from a new business, so a process that works and still works. And if you don't have a proven process, and you want our help building on, if you head over to makemoreplacements.com/apply, there's a short letter there that explains a bit more about what we do and how we can help you build a process for attracting new clients into your business. So anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, there is an argument that once you have a process and a system in place where you can acquire clients when you want to, well, one of two things happen. Then ultimately what's going to happen is you're going to decide who you're going to work with rather than the other way around. Then you're going to decide how much you're going to generate each month and each year. But ultimately, once you've got this process in place, it means that you are now in control of your business rather than the client being in control of you. Now, as Drew said, for many businesses, it's almost tempting. I've got these two or this one main client or perhaps three main clients and happy days, but you're building a business on quicksand. And to avoid that and have that security and that peace of mind, if you want to discover how to do it, if you go to www.makemoreplacements.com/apply, and there's a letter there, and we'll go into detail of exactly how you can do that. So that's makemoreplacements.com/apply. Go there and discover how you can create a business so you're deciding who you work with rather than the other way around. How you can discover how to bring new business into your business as and when you want to, so that you're in control of your destination and destiny rather than that of your client.
Awesome. So we'll speak with you again soon. Until then, take care, take action, and be relentless.
Cheers, folks.